Hello investors. So today I decided to check how the price of Safaricom shares have been performing after the release of the news that government is going to be selling Safaricom shares in the year 2025-2026, the financial year 2025-2026. And we received this news, or maybe this news hit the papers on May 26, 2025. Yes, around here. And you can see after the release of the news, the next day, the prices started going up. And you can see the prices have been going up since then. It went to a high of 25.50%. It went a little bit lower, but again, the prices have continued gaining momentum. And the reason why the prices here are going down, or you see these prices going down, is because once the prices starting going up, it reaches a point where the investors who had maybe gotten in when the prices were lower, they were thinking maybe this is the top, let us sell so that we can take some profits. And then because the demand is high, or the news is being seen by more people, they continued buying with anticipation that the prices will go up after the sale of the shares by the government. And again, this is also the same thing happening. People are taking profit here, and this is I think this was June 12th, 2025. Yes. And since the Safaricom shares, the government have not sold the Safaricom shares, we are expecting maybe these prices to continue going up, as people are anticipating that when the government will sell the shares, the prices will go up. And that is why I am making this video today, so that we can discuss what will happen after the sale of the shares by the government. Yes, and that's what I want us to look at today. So for those who have not heard the news, the government wants to raise 149 billion shillings in the 2025-2026 financial year. And they plan to do this through selling shares of companies they have a stake in, and Safaricom is one of them. So at the moment, the government owns 35% in Safaricom shares after selling a 25% stake via an initial public offering in 2008. Now, to understand what will happen to the prices, or the impact of the sale to the prices, I want us to go back to 2008 so that we can see how the market reacted, or how the price reacted to the sale in 2008, so that we can understand, or maybe we can see the possibility or the possible ways that the prices will react to this sale as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull the Safaricom page here. This is the Safaricom website, where they talk more about the Safaricom share prices. Okay, and here we have said that the government did an IPO, which was launched on March 28, 2008. An IPO is an initial public offering. Basically, it means when a private company sells its shares to the public for the first time, meaning the government sold the shares directly to the people. It means that they floated the shares in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So now the shares were available for anyone to buy in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Okay. Now, at that time, the government offered 10 billion shares, which represented the 25% of Safaricom shares. And the price at that particular time was 5 Kenya shillings. So now I'm going to change these. I'm going to change this to 2008 so that we can zoom this out to something that we can see more clearly. Let's do 2009. Yes, at least now we can see how the markets moved for that one year. And from this, we can see at first the prices went up from 5 Kenya shillings, that was the initial public offering, and it went up to 7.35, that is right after the sale. Okay. Then after that, the price went a little bit lower, and this is again because the people who had bought, some were selling. The people who had bought maybe in a private sale, they were selling to just take profits. So the prices went a little bit lower, and then they went up again to almost 8 Kenya shillings. That was 7.90. Then after that, and you can see this was in June 16th, 2008, so it was a month later, or within the month, yes. And after that, we saw that the prices, we can see that the prices started going down. They went down, they went out, tried to go up again, but they went down to I think we had a 2 point something, yeah, 2.6. That was the lowest the prices went. They went to 2.60 in 2009. That is February 2009. And after that, the prices continue, maybe started picking momentum a little bit, and then the prices started going up after that. And you can see after that, let me click all here so that you can see. And you can see after that, the prices started going up, and we went to a high of, let me see, we went to a high of 42.56 Kenya shillings in 2021, and then we have been going down until now 2024, when we have started seeing the prices, the price of shares going, the Safaricom shares going up until now the recent announcements, when the prices have gone up to now 23.02 Kenya shillings. And this is how the prices worked or after the announcement in 2008, or after the initial public offering in 2008. And from this, I think we can pick up a few things. There is immediate market impact, yes. And the immediate market impact is what you have seen. The prices dipped. Okay, it went down with a few, shillings, 1-2 shillings, and then the market dipped, and it dipped for a while before it started going up. So the long run, the prices went up, or the market stabilized, yes. But on the short term, the prices went down. The other thing that I noticed here is there was oversubscription at that particular time. And I was speaking to one of my fans from the social media, and she was telling me that she bought shares, Safaricom shares, during that IPO at 5 Kenya shillings. And she wanted to buy shares worth 20,000 Kenya shillings, and she actually gave the broker that 20,000 Kenya shillings, but she was only able to get shares worth 5,000 Kenya shillings because of the oversubscription. And I think there are a lot of people who lost money during this period of time, because the brokers were supposed to refund the money that they subscribed to, but were not able to purchase the shares. They were supposed to refund, but they didn't actually know, so they lost that amount of money, and they only managed to buy a small amount of shares, or they used a small portion of the money that they sent the brokers, and the rest, they never got that money back. Okay. And I think we all know the law of supply and demand, and this is what actually drives the market prices. Now, because the price or the supply was high, the prices went down. But over time, the Safaricom shares rebounded and became the largest companies on the Nairobi Securities Exchange in terms of the market capitalization. I want to hear from you. If you knew what you know today about shares and maybe Safaricom shares, would you have invested in Safaricom shares in 2008? And for those who invested, let me know in the comment section, what would you have done differently if you are investing them again today? Now, coming back to the announced sale that is supposed to happen in between June 2025 to June 2026, yes. First, I know that maybe the government won't sell the whole 35% of the Safaricom shares that they own. Maybe they'll do maybe 5% to 15%, depending on the market conditions. So, and I know there are a few ways that this can play out. Number one is if the sale is through an IPO, meaning selling through the Nairobi Securities Exchange. This now will be available to retail investors. That means me and you, and then also institutional or institutions investors. And this will be similar to what happened in 2008. And if that happens, we are likely to see price, maybe a short price increase like what we are seeing currently. The price is going up, and then we are going to see a price dip due to the increased supply, and also people selling to take profits because they anticipate the prices to drop or to go down or to dip. And this is basically market speculations. Yeah. You might also see an oversubscription that like we did in 2008 because more people want to go in when the prices are down, and we might experience a price, or we might experience oversubscription in these shares, and of course maybe allocation delays. Yeah. And that being said, I also know that there are ways to actually mitigate this or a way around this, where they can do a phased release to just stabilize the market so that it doesn't go so low, or it is not as bad. Yeah. So there are ways that they can actually do this. So depending on how they are going to sell their shares, whether they're going to do an IPO, whether they're going to do a phased release, that will determine how, or the impact of that to the prices of the shares. If they do this, we will see maybe a high public participation and increased demand over time, which will make the prices to go up on the long run. And we are going to see maybe a gradual price recovery as new investors come in over time. That is over time. The other option is if they do an off-market sale to institutional investors or maybe private equity, meaning they're going to sell to a few big players. If this happens, we'll not see a lot of disruption on the daily trading or in the markets. What you're going to see is maybe fluctuation because of market speculations, just that, nothing more. The volatility will not be as much, and I think markets will stabilize over time. And again, if they sell to a global investor or global investors that are well known, this may increase the confidence of the investors, and more people will want to go in with the shares that are already in the market. Yes. So we might see that the prices of the Safaricom share price is performing very well. Then, as you can see in this table, we have other ways that they can actually do the sale. But for option 4 and 5, there are possible ways that they can sell, but I can see that the most likely ones is number 1 and 2. Okay. Now, I have to say this. As you have seen how the markets performed in 2008, you have to know that for you to make a good amount of money, you need to invest for the long term, or you need to invest for a long period of time. Or if that you are not investing for a long period of time, you'll be willing to invest a lot of money in these shares. That way you can make a good amount of money, or you can make a good profit from this. But for people who are not going in with a lot of money, you must be willing to wait long enough for you to realize good profit. And if you invest heavily, be willing to lose that amount of money that you're investing there, because as they say, the markets always have the mind of their own. Yes. And no one can predict 100% with 100% certainty of how the prices will work every time. How the markets will move, we can only speculate. Let me know in the comment section, was this video helpful? And now that you know this, would you consider investing in Safaricom shares? Let me know in the comment section. And if you want a one-on-one session with me, you can always reach me out through this number. I also have a share guide or an ebook on how to invest in shares, generally in shares. So if you're interested, you can inbox me, or I'm going to leave a link that you can use to buy that book online. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and happy investing. Consider watching this video on where I would invest 1 million Kenya shillings today here in Kenya. Bye.